Ο τίτλος της υπόθεσης εν συντομία θα μπορούσε να είναι παρακολουθήσεις τηλεφώνων μεταξύ των οποίων και το τηλέφωνο.
The title of this case could be phone wiretapping. Among the phones wiretapped were the Greek prime ministers, members of the government, an ex-minister, member of the opposition party, and a number of private phones. This wiretapping was performed by so far unknown persons with the use of highly sophisticated technology.
If America wants to monitor particular people for good reason, they would find ways of either getting authority to do it or to do it without authority. But you are talking about ministers of the country's government, I believe, and it is highly unlikely that a foreign government would give America permission to monitor that foreign government's national telephone system. Highly unlikely. And I suppose powerful governments have ways and means of getting round lots of these regulations.
The companies involved were the Greek branches of Vodafone and Ericsson. The intercepted phone numbers were eavesdropped through mobile phones of the pay-as-you-go type. Someone had set up a very sophisticated surveillance network.
There's several points that indicate it was a U.S. operation. One, as I mentioned, the 3 live antennae that were communicating from Greece, the actual messages of the Greek security chief in real time were all located near Lycabettus Hill, right next to the U.S. Embassy.
Εδώ ήταν 14 έως 16, μάλλον 14,
There were 14 to 16 mobile phones operating as shadow devices of the tapped numbers. When a call was received by the intercepted phone, it was immediately connected with one of the bug phones through the lawful interception software. Apparently, this shadow phone was taping the conversation into another software.
These bug phones are not associated with a contract. Therefore, retrieving details of their owners is a very difficult task.
Every city is divided into cells. Every time a phone gets into the area, it announces it's arrived to the area. And the most powerful switch receives that notification. But the ones that it wants, it doesn't eject, it holds on to them. And it mimics a cell. So people can actually listen to the conversation.
This is the biggest spying operation to ever hit Greece. It started a few weeks before the 2004 Olympic Games. It involves the death of one of Vodafone's employees. In February 2005, in a routine system inspection, Vodafone Greece says it discovered something suspicious operating in its software and immediately notified Ericsson Sweden about it. On March 4, 2005, Ericsson's technicians indeed located an interception subsystem of unknown origin. Apparently, this subsystem was getting active only when the interception was taking place and was hidden at other times. On March 5, 2005, Vodafone CEO George Koronias shut down the rogue software as he claims to protect the company and the country. On March 9, 2005, Kostas Tsalikidis, the head of Vodafone's network design and the person holding all the passwords of the network, was found dead in his flat in an apparent suicide. The next day, Vodafone's head George Koronias met with the Greek government to notify them of findings which were crucial for the national security.
Kostas had expressed his concerns to Sarah that he was facing a matter of life or death. He had certain fears, he had certain threats which made him believe that his life was in danger.
There was a huge fight, a screaming match, the day before his murder, and he started to tell his families that a life or death issue was occurring.
Our investigation till now shows that we have to be convinced that it is not a suicide. In the very least, it's an assisted one, if not outright murder.
Οπωσδήποτε, συνειρμικά, οποιοσδήποτε μπορεί να κάνει τις...
Anyone would make the same connections in their minds, raising suspicions about his death.
Εγερθούν κάποιες υποψίες από αυτό το γεγονός.
He was searching something, he was looking for something. He probably gained knowledge of the phone tapping and hypothetically could have announced his knowledge to somebody.
It is very clear that Tsalikidis was facing a difficult and stressful situation at work. Was that a strong enough reason for him to take his own life and leave behind his family? His sister-in-law agreed to talk to me for the first time about his personality and the questions that remain unanswered.
I had never seen such a perfect body lying down dead in my life. The way of death is written somehow on his body as an expression.
If somebody is committing suicide themselves, their face will be very congested. It'll be bluish in color. They'll have little hemorrhages in their eyes. On the other hand, if they've had it done for them, there won't have been time for those changes to occur. And therefore, the face will look relatively normal. That's a big giveaway.
Kostas was calm, was smiling. He had his eyes closed, he had his mouth closed. He hadn't any possible bluish color like we have seen in hanging bodies. It was like a stage thing. It was as if somebody had designed something that worked out perfectly. Nothing on his face would say that Kostas went through any death fight or any kind of pain, of physical pain.
All the signs point to murder. He was happily engaged. He had lots of money from his family. He went home and he was found hung by pipes outside of his bathroom a mere 3 inches above the ground. The knot was an extremely sophisticated knot.
Ericsson, the world's largest maker of wireless network equipment, with roughly 40% of the world's cell phone calls passing over its gear, is a key partner of Vodafone. Apparently, the first thing the Vodafone CEO George Koronias did when he discovered the spying software was to shut it down, as he claims for reasons of national security.
Why did he destroy the evidence after one of his employees committed suicide? He said, it was dangerous. I just didn't want the danger to be happening still, which is crazy. He did it because he didn't want the evidence there.
Was Vodafone Greece really unaware of what was going on inside its system?
How can a company be provided with software and not be aware that this software is operating? We're all aware of the lawful interception software.
The company claimed that Kostas' death had nothing to do with his job or his duties at the company. How were they so sure?
Some internal security engineers catch the interceptions. They go to their boss and say, hey, we've caught the interception. And it appears as if the boss says, I know about it. I authorized it. You'll either play ball or else. And in these two instances, else was murder.